So while we do intros on the chat, let's do a brief intro of me in this case, and then Jan, who is here with us today as the expert on digital marketing and ads. For those that maybe do not know me, my name is Lucia. I am a lead product manager at bookingkit, and just back in May, I completed my 2 years mark at bookingkit, and just here really happy to at the beginning of the webinar to go through the new feature, the e-commerce tracking feature that we released 2 months ago. I'm happy to share the space with Jan that will give us a lot of insights on Meta and Face and Google Ads. So, Jan, do you want to say a brief introduction?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Jan. I'm from Nuremberg, but I've been living in Mexico for 8 years, so I'm live from Mexico right now. I'm running the ad agency lebegeil Media, and we're entirely focusing on adventure businesses. So we help adventure businesses like yours to achieve more bookings through online marketing. And yeah, I'm happy to share some insights from the last years that we got from our clients.
So let's start. So it seems that we've got the personal intros out of the way. First, I will be going through the bookingkit features that we have and the motivation behind them, and then I will hand over the mic to Jan for the actual main topic, which is digital ads or PPC. But actually, first of all, let's run a small survey to see where we at when it comes to running ads. So, do you see the survey? Okay, so it seems that most of the people, most of the attendees are running some sort of ad campaign. Should we expect any more votes? Okay, so we've got around 62% of the attendees that they are actually running ad campaigns, and then we have 14% that they do not. So I think for those that they do not run ad campaigns, I'm sure that they are going to feel a bit more comfortable doing so by the end of this webinar. So with that, I will end the voting. And do you see my screen again?
Not yet, I think.
Okay, wait. I will reshare the... All right. So we are back on track, right? I think. Jan, do you see the slides? Okay, cool. Right. So and this is now a very basic so e-commerce tracking. What do we mean by that? We mean like a system that allows you to capture, to record those user interactions and goals that take place, in this case, on your website. Now, as you can see here on the slide, 4 reasons to start tracking, like e-commerce events. A clear one, your content. So try to understand if your content is working or not. Is your content resonating and driving clicks, or maybe not? Maybe it's just generating a high bounce rate, so people are probably maybe are leaving. Then, secondly, and quite important for actually the topic that we are talking today, is the marketing attribution. So if you are one of those users that just answer that they are running and ad campaigns, you probably know how important it is to analyze the performance of those campaigns, and e-commerce tracking allows you to do that in a very holistic way. Thirdly, booking patterns, so knowing which time of the day, which day of the week is the time that the users of your website have a higher conversion rate is invaluable knowledge to have. And then again, lastly, also again, very, very important for this specific webinar, which is to retarget your audience. So at the moment, we have, as we are going to see, platforms like Google Analytics 4 that allow you to create audiences according to those events that you are tracking and retarget that audience back so they finalize their purchase if they didn't. So with that out of the way, with the basic definition, how did we solve, or how did we offer e-commerce tracking for you as a customer at BookingKit? So for those that are in the Pro Business Kit plans, you are probably aware of the web developer options, which has been, let's say, historically up to June, the only way to connect your platforms like Google Analytics to BookingKit data. Now, back in June, we released a new feature, the new e-commerce tracking feature, just before as well the launch that took place in July by Google. They launched Google Analytics 4, and now we are doing a series of actions like this webinar and the webinar we had 2 weeks ago, in which we are stopping to talk about the importance of e-commerce tracking, and we are collecting actually feedback from those users using the new feature, and we are doing improvements on the fly as we go. Now, just for those that maybe were not so aware of what I'm talking about, web developer options, as I said in the previous view, was the feature, the only solution that any BookingKit user had to connect, let's say, to Google Analytics. But as you can see on the screenshot, it was very techy. It was not compatible with Google Analytics 4, and it had issues with tracking purchases and the attribution. At the moment, and with the release of the new e-commerce tracking feature, we do not recommend to use this old feature anymore, although this feature stays in our product for those booking ProKit and Business Kit customers that still want to allow the webmasters to inject HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code. Now we leave, let's say, the old solution behind, and for anyone. So any customer at BookingKit, from a starter kit to pro kit, they can find the new feature from the area of sell and checkout configuration. Now, the new feature, as you can see, is pretty easy to set up. You either need your Google Tag Manager ID or your Google Analytics measurement ID, and then we are ready to push events to your setup. So actually, just a not very nice schema of or view of what we are doing. We're pushing some events onto the data layer, and then they get available either in your Google Tag Manager or your Google Analytics. Very quickly. For that, just a reminder, the events that we are currently pushing for you is view item list. So whenever a customer is checking your list widget or calendar widget, we are pushing the view item list. View item then is triggered if the customer is checking the details of an experience or event. Then if any customer is adding a ticket, like an adult ticket or child ticket, then add to cart is triggered. Add payment info is available if you are using the Stripe as payment provider. So it's whenever there is the user has added a payment from the Stripe payment element. And then lastly, purchase is obviously self-explanatory, is when the customer reaches the confirmation page. We do also have this custom page view event. So whenever there's a new screen viewed, we're also sending that event. And lastly, at least from my side, why connecting, why using GA4 in your ad campaigns? So as we are going to see, you will be able to run Meta ads, Google ads. So you will be able to use different networks and platforms to run ads. And they offer a dashboard in which you can see the performance of your campaigns. However, in GA4, you can put everything together and have like an holistic view of which campaign is actually working for you. Now, it's very important as well, and this is one of the improvements that we've done. It's very important that if you're running ad campaigns, to add UTM parameters. Now, in the specific setup for BookingKit, please, we are only able to push UTM parameters onto the confirmation page if you actually redirected your campaign onto a page in which the widget is present. And then lastly, audiences. So Google Analytics 4, and this is impacting mainly Google Ads. Google Analytics 4 has these machine learning generated audiences that can really help you target with a higher % of success your campaigns. So you can import all the audiences from GA4 onto Google Ads. And with that, I'm afraid we out of time. So this is my part. It was a quick, let's say, intro of, as I said, the BookingKit features and the motivation behind it. And now I leave the stage to you, Jan.
Thank you, Lucia. I'm expecting the presentation to take about 30 minutes. That's at least what the time that I needed when I practiced. And then after that, we can answer all of your questions. So let me just share my screen. Now you should be able to see it, right?
Yes, we see it.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, we're talking a little bit about conversion tracking and how that relates to your ad campaigns. Initially, it was named as tracking with booking kits and social media ads, but I changed it to PPC ads because we're always also talking about Google ads, which is not quite social media, but we're also going into Instagram and Facebook ads. So I already presented myself. You're also going to get the PDF later. So if you want to contact me, all the information is in here. Let's just have a quick look at the agenda for today. So first, we're going to talk about the basics of PPC ads. Most of you are running PPC ads already, but for those who are not, I'm going to explain quickly what are the advantages, what you can do with PPC ads, and actually what it means. Then we're going to talk about conversion tracking, why you need conversion tracking, and why it is really important in order to have profitable ad campaigns. And then we're going to dive into the two tools that I'm going to talk about in Google Ads and in Meta Ads, which includes Facebook and Instagram ads. And then we got some time planned for questions. So let's start with the basics of PPC ads. Actually, PPC means a pay per click. So that explains itself. So every time someone clicks on your ad, on your advertisement, you have to pay a certain amount to those channels. So the first channel is Google Ads, which is also probably the most important channel to acquire new customers. Google Ads are search ads for those that are interested in your specific product. So people are already searching for a specific term, and they're interested in, for example, they're searching for an escape room in a certain city, or in a city tour or something like that. You can also run display ads on Google Ads, which means you're running banner ads on certain partner websites. And in my opinion, Google Ads is the easiest platform to get started. It's quite complex, but there's some tools in Google Ads that help you to get started really quickly. So you can actually set up a campaign in like 10, 15 minutes, which is automated by Google's AI. Then we have YouTube Ads, which is also implemented in the Google Ads interface. So you can run YouTube Ads also from Google Ads. This is to expand your reach. So you have to, like, you're not reaching mostly people that are searching for your product. You're reaching people that are a certain kind of audience, and then you can warm up your audiences and show them your product, and then they might get interested in your tour or in your activity, and then might book later in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. And it's important that you have really good video material to start YouTube ads. That's why it's a little bit more difficult than starting Google Ads, because for Google Ads, for Google search ads, at least you just need text. Then there's Meta Ads, which includes Facebook and Instagram ads. This is mainly to get more interactions with your content, expand your reach. So you can reach huge audiences that might be like in your demographic reach. So, for example, in a certain city, or maybe a demographic like age audience, like from 20 to 35 or something like that. And it also helps you to receive more purchases and more bookings. You need images or videos for Meta Ads, so that's also why it's a little bit more challenging than just running Google Ads. And there's also TikTok Ads and several other platforms. I'm not going to dive into those today because, in my opinion, Google Ads and Meta Ads are the most important platforms, and TikTok Ads is actually pretty similar to Facebook and Instagram ads. So if you know how to run Meta Ads, you can also go into TikTok Ads. But it's really important to have creative video material. You need really good videos to actually run profitable TikTok ads. But you have a really large audience there, and also younger people, so it might be worth looking into that as well. Here's some pros and cons about running PPC ads. So obviously, every new user costs money. So every time someone clicks on your ad, you have to pay something. You also need a learning and testing phase. So usually if you start your ads, they don't work perfectly in the beginning. So you need some time to test things and then to improve them over the weeks, over the months, and it keeps on getting better the more data you have. And also there's quite a lot of entry barriers to start PPC ads, especially conversion tracking, which is really important, but that's why we're talking about it today. It can be a bit complex, and of course you need to invest advertising budget. The pros are the results are measurable, so that's also conversion tracking. That's why we need it. You can measure all of your results, and you can get really accurate data about what's happening with your money. They're predictable and scalable. So if you see the ads are working, you can actually raise your budget and then get more bookings for probably the same cost. It might raise a little bit or even get lower, but yeah, it's pretty much scalable if you're doing it right. You can get pretty quick results. So when you turn on your ad campaigns, after one day you already see some data. You might have some bookings already from those campaigns, and you can get really accurate targeting. So if you compare it to maybe just hanging up like an ad in the city, like a huge billboard, you don't really know how you're generating bookings or if anyone is interested in that. And with PPC ads, you can actually see all of the little details about your audience. Here is a little checklist that you need in order to get started with PPC ads, because a lot of the time companies do the mistake that they just start the ads and they don't even have a strategy implemented, and then after 2 weeks when it's not working, they say it hasn't worked for me, so I'm not going to do that anymore. So you really need to do the basics before you start. So the first thing, obviously, choose a platform. I would suggest start with Google Ads, then create the advertising accounts, set up conversion measurement, conversion tracking. That's really important. Otherwise, you don't know what's happening with your money. What I also notice a lot, companies don't have landing pages for specific topics. So for example, if you're running an ad campaign for team events, and then you're sending your audience to your homepage, and there's no information whatsoever about team events, then your audience will be gone in a couple of seconds. So you need to show them specific information on what you want to tell them. So for example, you're running an ad about team events, then send them to a specific team event page where they find all the information about team events. That requires a little bit of work in the beginning to set up all the landing pages, but it's worth it, and it's going to save you a ton of money. Also compile image and video material. So in order to get started with meta ads, get some good images, get some good videos from your activities. Otherwise, it's hard to get good results. Then the next step would be setting up your campaigns and start them. And then also what's really important, you have to keep looking into them. So every couple of days, monitor your ads, evaluate what's happening, and optimize them. And at least test for 3 months. If you see after 3 months it's not working, then maybe you've done something wrong, or maybe it just doesn't work for your kind of business. But usually you should give it a little bit of time and also a lot of optimization to get good results. Now let's dive into conversion tracking. Let's look at the basics. So that's what's happening a lot. A lot of companies are investing, let's say, €1,000 in Google Ads, and then they see, oh, I don't know what's happening with my money. I got so and so many clicks, but I don't know if I got bookings from that. I don't know if the people were interested, how long they were on my website, whatsoever. So that's the biggest mistake you can make. If you don't have conversion tracking implemented, you don't know what's happening with your ad spend. So let's see why conversion tracking is important for PPC campaigns. It helps you exactly determine which keywords or which ad campaigns are driving conversion. So you can optimize those campaigns. For example, if you see one campaign is not working as well, you can optimize it to get a better performance, or maybe you can pause it and raise the budget in the other campaign. You can exactly see it. on a campaign level. You can see it on your specific ads, which helps you a lot to optimize your campaigns. You can also identify keywords. So if you see this keyword is not working for me, you can pause it. Or if you see another keyword is working pretty well, you can raise the bid and get Google to spend more on that keyword. You can also attribute conversions to specific channels. So you can determine how many of your conversions are, for example, from paid ads. You can see how many of your conversions are coming from organic website visitors or from a certain campaign that you're running. That's all possible through conversion tracking. And it also helps you to optimize your ad copy and your landing pages, so you can find exactly which text is probably working, which landing pages are probably working or not, and then compare it and optimize everything in the process. A really important number for you is going to be the return on ad spend, ROAS. So with conversion tracking, you can not only see how many conversions, how many bookings you get, you can actually see the value of those conversions. So let's check a little example. For example, last month you spent 1,995 euros on ads, and you can see in your conversion tracking you got 133 bookings from that. So that means the cost per conversion is 15 euros. CPA is the short form, which means cost per acquisition. You're probably going to see that little term a lot. And let's say you got an average income per booking of 150 euros. That means for all of those bookings you got 19,950 euros. That's only an example, but it shows you that for the ad spend that you had, 1,995 euros, you actually got 10 times as much in revenue, in return on ad spend. That's the number ROAS, and you're gonna wanna remember that number and use it for all of your campaigns, because it's really important to have that in mind. So overall, conversion tracking helps you save money, so you can focus on your most profitable ad campaigns, and it also helps you get more bookings and more revenue, which is, I guess, every one of you wants to have that. Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself because I'm gonna cough a little bit. I still have a little bit of a cold. Okay, I'm back. Let's dive into tool number one, which is Google Ads. So there's certain types of ads in Google Ads. I already talked a little bit about that. So Google Search Ads is probably the most important channel of Google Ads, which means you can publish or you can display your ads in the Google search. And a lot of the time, your potential customers they're really close to a booking already, because they're looking for escape room Hamburg, they're looking for a city tour Berlin, rafting tour Switzerland. So they're already interested in your product and they're searching for it. So you want to be there. You can either achieve that by SEO, which is the organic positioning, so positioning your website, but which is it's faster and easier to pay Google to show you in the first results, which are the paid search ads. So it can be, for example, escape room plus your city. It can be search term what to do in a certain city. It can be also birthday events in Hamburg. It can be corporate events in London. So you can focus on all those search terms that might be interesting. And show your ads to the people that are searching for that. There's also Google Display Ads, which means you can display your ads to specific target groups. So people are not really actively interested in your product. They're not actively searching for it, but they're probably browsing through a website, through a blog, and then your banner ads are showing up for those people. And you can target those people on specific interests, on locations, also on previous interactions with the company, which is remarketing. So for example, people have been on your website, they have put something in the shopping cart, they were already pretty close to checking out and then they didn't finish it. You can show those people display ads again, so they might go back to your website and then finish the booking. You can place your ads on partner websites in the Google AdSense network, and those ads are important to generate awareness. And then there's YouTube ads, so you can display certain videos before topic relevant content. So if you want to position them, you can say, for example, I'm going to place them before outdoor videos or rafting videos or something like that. So you can actually reach people that are already consuming content that is related to your business. You can also target that to reach specific audiences and generate awareness. Then let's have a look into at the steps you need to take to implement conversion tracking for Google Ads. So first you need to set it up in your Google Ads account, in Google Analytics 4, also in BookingKit. I guess you already looked into that in the last webinar, and in Google Tag Manager. So you need to have those technical things ready. Then what's really important is test it. So if you have set it up, you need to go through the booking process and then see if actually the conversions are displayed in your account, and the conversion tracking is properly working. Then you start to run your ads in your ad account, and then after that you measure them. So you you check your Google Ads account, you check your Google Analytics account, and maybe in the beginning compare the results to your BookingKit account, so you see the numbers are realistic. For example, if you have like 1,000 bookings in Google Ads, but only 50 bookings in BookingKit, then something is off. So you might need to readjust that. And then with all that data, you can go back to your ad campaigns and then optimize them for better results. So the best practices for Google Ads conversion tracking are check all the data. So not only focus on CPC, so what do I pay for a click, focus also on numbers like CTR, which is the click-through rate through your ads. So for example, 1,000 people look at your ads, 100 people click on them, then the click-through rate would be 10%. Then the CPA, so the cost per acquisition, and the return on ad spend. So always check all the data that you get and try to make the most out of it. Then try to identify high performing keywords. So if you see, for example, for your business escape room, corporate
Did we lose Jan?
I think, yeah, Jana's having some connection issues.
Yeah.
Let's wait for a second.
There he is.
Can you hear me again?
Yeah.
Yes, welcome back.
Okay, so what was the last thing you heard?
I think you were still in the performing keywords.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you identify that some keywords are not working, for example, keywords that are like, let's say, cheap escape room, or how do I get something for free, then those keywords are probably not that relevant for you and you won't make any money of that. So pause them or discard them from your ad campaigns. Guys, let me know in the chat if I'm frozen again or something. So I can I can see where I start again. And then yeah, adapt your budget. So the conversion data gives you really clear insights into your ad strategy and budget. So if you see
Jan?
your yeah,
We are currently not able to see your presentation.
okay, let me check that. Now, do you see it again?
Yes.
Yes,
We do.
perfect.
Okay. Yeah. Now my the internet quality is perfect again, it says. So let's see how long that lasts. So yeah, if you see your ad campaigns are working well, then you can scale them up. So if you spend 100 euros on ads and you get like 1,000 euros on return on ad spend, then you might want to scale your budget and invest more, because you always should see it as an investment. If you invest more in good results, you can get even more out of that, depending, of course, on your capacity. If you're already booked out, then it doesn't make sense. But if you want to get more bookings and you have well managed campaigns, then adapt your budget. And also the other way around, if the results are worse than before after raising your budget, then you might want to lower it again. So let's have a look at some examples. So this is a screenshot from one of our clients. It's a city tour company. I know those words are in German, but I'm going to explain to you a little bit what you can see here. So this is the campaign overview in Google Ads. I'm just going to run you through the most important numbers. So we spent 15,000 euros in the last 30 days on ads. And for that, we got 515 conversions, which in this case are bookings. So we got 515 bookings out of that number of budget. And you can see on average, we pay 29 euros for each conversion, which means, if your booking value is higher than 29 euros, it's probably worth it. But for example, if we pay 29 euros per conversion for a 5 euro tour, that wouldn't make any sense. So you always have to look at that number. You can also see here, for example, in the upper campaign, in the upper campaign here, we only spent 792 per conversion, and we got 139 conversions. So maybe that's a good sign to actually raise the budget, because we got really good results here. In the second campaign from the bottom, here it says 45.92. So that's probably a bit expensive. We don't actually know now here what we are what campaigns we're running, because I pixeled them. But let's say it's a team event. So for example, for a team event, you earn 500 euros per event and you spend only 45 euros per conversion, then it's worth it. But if it's only a tour for 50 euros, then it's not worth it. So you always have to check all of those numbers. But actually here you can see the value of the conversions. So we spent 15,000 euros on ads, and we got a value of the conversions of 33,000 euros. So we pretty much doubled here you can see 2.2 is the return on ad spend. So you always need to figure out if it's worth it for your business, how big is your margin after the purchase, and then you can see if the campaigns are worth it or not. Let's have another look into a campaign of an escape room. So here it looks a little bit different. For example, the top campaign here, we got 67 conversions and we only paid 9.42 euro. And so we spent 600 euros and we got 11,000 euros of conversions out of that. So that makes it 12 times the ad budget, which is really profitable. And then you can see the campaign here, the second from the bottom, we only made 5.2 out of the budget, which is still pretty good. but you can see the differences, and that's what's important. So always look at those numbers when you optimizing your ad campaigns, not only the cost per click. Those numbers are way more important to you, especially return on ad spend and the cost per conversion. Here's another view. This is actually not the campaign view. This is the keyword view. So you can see which keywords are running conversions, getting you conversions, which keywords are more expensive, for example. So this one, for example, got us 14.34 conversions, and the cost was 7.75 francs. And then the lower here, the cost per conversion was a little bit higher. So you can also see it on the keyword base, and then check which keywords are profitable and which you might want to pause. And that's also, look at those numbers here. That's the return on ad spend. So we spend, I don't know exactly how much we spent 19,000 francs, and we got about 10 times the value out of that through the campaigns. So those numbers are really, really important. That was not for a month. That was, I don't know exactly the period, but it was, a couple of months. So now you can see, conversion tracking is really important and gives you great insights into your campaigns. Let's have a quick look at meta ads. So meta ads, you can run your ads on Facebook, on Instagram, and on the Meta Audience Network, which are apps and partner websites. You can target people based on their interests, on their demographic characteristics. So if they're interested in theme parks, in outdoor activities, something like that, and they're great to generate awareness and also conversions. It's not working that well anymore for conversions because there's been a lot of data protection issues with, for example, Apple has done a lot of changes to iOS, for example. So you can't really get that much data anymore as you used to. So a couple of years ago, meta ads was really, really good for running those campaigns. Now we still use it, but we don't use it as much as Google ads anymore. But it always depends on your kind of business. For example, if you're in a city with like 10 competitors, then it's good to run Google ads because people are probably already looking for you or for your product, and then you want to compete against your competitors. But if you're in, let's say, in a little city, you're the only escape room, you're the only company that offers a certain activity, and people don't know about you, people don't actually search actively for you, then you might want to prefer meta ads, because then you can get into onto people's screens even if they don't know you exist. You can use image carousel ads, you can use video, and that are the most important formats. So you always need to prepare those assets before running the ads. It's pretty similar to Google Ads in about the steps that you need to take. So you need to create a Facebook pixel, which is the measurement pixel. Then you need to implement that to your website. I would suggest to do it through Google Tag Manager, so you can actually implement it on all of your websites, and it's easier to track and easier to do adjustments. Then you need to create conversion events. So you can go to your Facebook Business Manager and create those events. You can also do it through a technical, through a script. So if someone comes to the checkout page, for example, then it's automatically labeled as a purchase. But I guess that's something really technical that probably you've spoken about that in the other webinar. I don't know exactly, but if you have any questions about that, then maybe put that also in the chat. Then also test your conversion tracking before launching your ad. So check if all the events are actually coming to your Meta Ads Manager. See if it's working before you launch your ads. And then, create and launch your Facebook ads and keep on optimizing them with the data that you have. This is a screenshot from one of our clients. So as you can see, we had in the last month, we had 46 purchases through those campaigns. And yeah, here you can see the cost per acquisition was higher than in our Google Ads campaigns. So we spent about 2,100 euros, and the return on ad spend was 2,900. So the ads are still profitable, but the margin is really low. But the thing here is that you're not getting all the data. So you probably have achieved 60, 70 purchases, but they're not all showing up here. That, for example, related to if people have iOS, then not all the data is coming. If people don't accept your cookies on your website, then you don't get that data. So probably the campaigns are more profitable than they show up here. But it's always pointing you into the right direction. So if you have a lot of data, you can still see which ads are working well and which ads you might want to deactivate. For example, this one here, which shows 2 purchases. Yeah, we already deactivated it because we spent 85 euros on a purchase, but only got 74 euros on conversion value. So that was an indicator for us to pause the ad. So now I want to show you what to do if you have if something happens, or if you have a certain number that you want to improve. So for example, you have a high cost per click. What can you do? You can improve your ad copy. You can find cheaper keywords, or you can improve the quality factor of your ads in the Google Ads account, which might lead to cheaper clicks. Then if you have a low conversion rate, you might also want to look at your landing page. So if there's 1,000 people coming from your ads to your landing page, but only 5 book, then there might be a problem with your landing page. So it's not only improving your ad campaigns, it's also always related to your website. So also check your website in order to improve those numbers. And you can also check the relevancy of your keywords. Maybe people are clicking on a keyword and they're not finding what they're looking for on your website, so they're not converting either. If you have a really low click-through rate, that means maybe you want to improve your ad copy, you might want to improve your images, your videos, and also improve the targeting of your audience. Maybe find another audience that's more willing to click or more interested in your product. If you have a low quality factor in your Google Ad account, you want to improve landing pages, because Google is also checking your landing pages in order to rate your ads. So your ads always get a quality factor, and if the quality factor is low, your ads get more expensive, and they might not show up for all of your potential customers. Also, revise the entire customer journey. What happens after people click on your ad? How do they get to the website? What's happening there? And match your ads to the message on the landing page. That's what we talked about before with if you send people that are interested in team events, if you send them to your to your homepage, then you might get a low quality factor. If you have a low return on ad spend, maybe focus more on more expensive, more profitable products. For example, team events, big group sizes, so you can get more out of a single booking. Of course, you're going to get the PDF as well, so you can check after if you run into one of these problems, you can check what to do. And now we have some time for questions. I guess it was a lot of information, but feel free to ask anything you'd like.
Yeah, we did have a question regarding the Google Ads, why they were more predictable. I think it's at the top.
Yeah. We collected some questions for you, Jan. One of them was from Tim. Jan, you said that one of the pros of PPC ads is that they are predictable. Could you give more insight on this? Why is that so?
Of course, So you always have data with those kind of with that kind of ads. For example, if you improving your website, if you're doing SEO, this might take 6 months to rank on the first page. It might take 2 years. It might not happen. So you can't really predict what's happening with SEO. It's still important because I know you can get really good results through SEO, but it might take more time, and you can't really predict what's happening. And on the other hand, with Google Ads, you know you're going to put 100 euros in, and you know you're going to get clicks to your ad campaigns, and then you just need to improve it. So that's what I mean by it's more predictable.
Thanks a lot. Tim, if you have a follow-up question, just let us know. Then another one from Tim, maybe Jan, if you could share afterwards, maybe what is the font in this presentation of yours? Tim was very interested. And then the last one from,
it's
sure.
actually called, it's Cookie Run.
Cool.
That's part of our corporate identity. Yeah, it's a really cool
Nice.
font, right?
Perfect. Thank you so much. And then the last question until now from Martin regarding search ads. Do you recommend the phrase match and the keywords with the quotes, especially in the context of local businesses?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So it can be really, really different. So Google, I think, like for the last 2 or 3 years, they started recommending use broad match. They always recommend that, but you have to just try it, because if you have a really specific product and you're running ads with broad match, then you get a lot of irrelevant searches, and then that might deteriorate the performance of your campaigns. So if you're using broad match, it's really important to exclude keywords that are not relevant to you. I'm usually using phrase match. So what I do is I do one ad group with phrase match, and then I do one ad group with broad match, and then just to see what people are looking for. So maybe I didn't target all the keywords, all the relevant keywords. So with broad match, I can actually get more insights into what people are searching for. But usually broad match is not as profitable for at least for our business. But that's something you need to test on your own.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Martin. Also, if you have a follow-up question, just shoot right in the chat. Other than that, there were no more questions until now.
Awesome. So I know it's a really complex topic, and yeah, a lot of you probably don't have time, or you don't want to like focus on running Google ads all the time. You want to receive your guests and have fun with them, and like create an amazing experience. So yeah, if you need anything if you have any questions, or if you need any help with that, feel free to contact me. My details are in the presentation, and just leave me a message. And my website is only in German at the moment, but you can just drop me an email, or run my website through Google Translate or something.
Yeah, I think we got 3 more questions. Jan, if you just want to take a look, I think they are all, you can answer them best.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have experience with Facebook events as ads? Yeah, we've done that a couple of times. So yeah, we created an event, and then we ran ads for that. So what you usually get, you get a lot of signups for the event, but it doesn't help a lot with purchases. So it can help to get more reach, but I wouldn't use it as the only thing to generate bookings. What is the cost of your service? That depends a lot on what you need. If you only running one ad campaign, that's probably cheaper than creating an entire website. So that's really individual. It can we can just contact me if you want, and then we can see what you need, and then we can look if we can help you. Do you have a podcast? Yes, we do, in German at the moment. We have one episode in English as well with the owner of Fox in the Box. So that might be interesting if you're not speaking German. But yeah, the podcast is also on the presentation, but it's called Lebegeil Erlebnis Podcast. You can find it on Spotify or Apple Podcast. And then can you give an example of your program? Yeah, that's, I guess, yeah, we do a lot of things really specific to certain businesses. So usually we start looking at the website. Is your website good? Do you have good landing pages? And that's usually where we start. And if your website is already good, then we can look more into Google ad campaigns or meta ad campaigns. So it's not a specific program or package. It's always individual to the certain business. I guess
not sure.
Someone is typing. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks to BookingKit for giving me the opportunity to share all that.
Thank you for pushing through with your voice.
Yeah, it's still working. And yeah, I'm glad the internet worked, because yeah, it showed like your internet is really unstable, but now it's working. So I hope it wasn't too bad.
All right. Yes, true. We've got another webinar coming up next month.
Stripe, cross-selling, and review management. Nice.
All right, so I guess this is it. Thank you so much. Obviously, thank you to Alexandra for all the support. Thanks, Jan, for taking the time. Everyone else, I guess we'll see you in the next webinar or in the next product call, at least from my side.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure. And have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Bye.